In the early hours of December 1st, 1948, a solitary figure lay slumped against a seawall on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia. At first glance, it seemed like a man taking a nap after a long day. He was impeccably dressed in a suit and tie, polished shoes and a neat haircut, a picture of composure. But as the morning sun rose and beachgoers passed, something became chillingly clear. This man was not sleeping. He was dead. Authorities were called and the investigation began, but what started as a simple case of an unidentified man quickly spiraled into one of the greatest mysteries of the 20th century, a mystery that has baffled experts and amateur sleuths for over 7 decades. This is the story of the Somerton Man, a case that defies logic, transcends time, and leaves us with far more questions than answers. When police arrived, they found no immediate signs of violence or struggle. The man carried no identification. His suit was pristine, and oddly, all labels had been meticulously removed from his clothing. In his pockets, they found curious items: a half-empty packet of chewing gum, a used bus ticket, an aluminum comb, and an unopened pack of cigarettes. But nothing that revealed who he was or why he was there. As the autopsy was performed, the mystery deepened. The man appeared to be in perfect health, with no signs of trauma or illness. However, his stomach contents revealed something peculiar. He had eaten a pasty shortly before his death, and traces of an unidentified poison were suspected. This poison, if present, was so rare and fast-acting that it left no obvious trace. Who was this man, and why would someone kill him in such a calculated way, or was it suicide? A new lead surfaced days later when a brown suitcase was found at the Adelaide railway station. It had been checked in the day before the man was discovered. Inside were more nameless clues: neatly packed clothes, a screwdriver, scissors, and a stenciling brush. Tools that suggested the man may have worked with machinery or shipping. But once again, all labels were removed. Whoever he was, he or someone, had gone to great lengths to erase his identity. But then, buried in the suitcase, investigators found a small, torn scrap of paper. On it were 2 cryptic words: tamam shud. Translated from Persian, it means "it is finished." This fragment was traced to the final page of an incredibly rare book, the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. But where was the rest of the book? And why did this phrase, seemingly a declaration of finality, matter so much? The case took another bizarre turn when a man came forward months later with the actual copy of the Rubaiyat. It had been mysteriously left in his car. In the book's margins were handwritten letters appearing to form a code. Cryptographers from around the world have tried to crack it, but to this day, its meaning remains elusive. And then, a stranger connection emerged. A local woman named Jo Thompson was found to own a copy of the Rubaiyat with similar markings. She lived just a few hundred meters from where the body was found. When police showed her a photo of the Somerton Man, she reportedly went pale and refused to talk about it. Who was Jo Thompson, and how was she connected to this man? Her secrets, if she had any, went with her to her grave. For decades, the Somerton Man was a symbol of the unknowable, a riddle wrapped in enigma. Speculation ran wild. Was he a Cold War spy, a jilted lover, or someone who wanted to vanish completely, leaving behind only questions? But now, after more than 70 years, the mystery has finally been solved. In 2022, advances in DNA technology provided the breakthrough investigators had been chasing for generations. By extracting genetic material from the Somerton Man's remains and using genealogical databases, researchers traced his identity to a man named Carl Charles Webb, an electrical engineer and instrument maker from Melbourne. Born in 1905, Webb was a private and enigmatic figure who had become estranged from his family. Records suggest he had experienced personal turmoil, including a failed marriage, around the time of his disappearance. But the discovery of his name didn't answer everything. Why was he in Adelaide? Why did he carry a copy of the Rubaiyat with its cryptic tamam shud note? And how did he die? The prevailing theory is that Carl Webb may have been suffering from mental health challenges and possibly chose to end his life. Yet the exact circumstances remain elusive. What we now know, however, is that the Somerton Man was no spy, no international man of mystery, just a man, deeply human, caught in circumstances that unraveled his life. As his true identity finally comes to light, the Somerton Man's story reminds us that behind even the most puzzling mysteries are real people, with real lives and struggles. His case captivated the world for decades, and though many questions remain, we can now give him what he was denied for so long, a name and the dignity of remembrance. Mysteries may endure, but answers are never beyond reach. What do you think about the resolution of this decades-old mystery? Does it leave you satisfied, or do you think there's more to the story? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can join us for the next dive into history's strangest cases.